You don't just talk, you speak. Some people just haven't mastered the art of using words effectively. You cannot say you don't like to talk to people. I'm an introvert. I don't like people. You need to start liking people. How would you make money? How would you make wealth? How would you share your knowledge? How would other people understand your concepts, your ideas? You just need to communicate with people one way or the other. You don't need to like it. It is a necessity.
Dr. Catherine Onyejiaka is a renowned Nigerian communication coach, TEDx speaker, and founder of Unique Accent Consultancy. She empowers professionals with effective speech, diction, and public speaking skills.
You can't talk about communication without talking about listening. The thing about some people, they listen to react. When you don't speak, then it is a disservice. What are you doing? So when you see someone who needs your help, don't help the person because you feel you're not a verbal person, then it is a disservice to yourself and to the person as well as to your society. I don't think anybody is a natural introvert.
Oh.
Do you know why?
Before we dive into today's conversation, I just want to say this real quick. If you're just finding us, thank you and welcome to the PT Podcast. And if you've been here with us since, thank you for sticking around. My team and I are building the PT Podcast for people like you who want to grow, people like you who want to feel seen, who want to be heard, who want to be stretched. So while you're here, we want you to do just 2 things that can help move us forward. Subscribe so you don't miss out on contents that actually sharpens and feeds your mind. That's literally the only thing we demand of you, to keep bringing high quality guests to the PT Podcast for every single one of us. And secondly, you want to go ahead and leave a comment right there in the comment section. If you have any thoughts, please put them down there. You do not know who would see them. You do not know who really needs them at this time. And you do not know who you are helping just by leaving a comment. Today's conversation is one of those conversations that you're not only going to hear, you're going to feel it. And we want you to take action by sharing this episode to your network, to different people building different stuffs at different phases of their life. That's the energy that we need to keep bringing high quality guests. And if there's someone in your mind, entrepreneur, founder, builder, whoever it is that you would like us to speak to, please write to us and we'll definitely make that happen. All right, let's dive in real quick to this one. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Dr. Catherine.
The pleasure is all mine.
So the first thing I remember is first time working with you way back at Affable Homes when we were making those courses at the time. I produced the show. It was all shade of learning at the time. And
I'm going to write your name, Rose.
yes, please. Circling back, I remember how you were helping most of these top executives even after that time to discover their voice with precision and power. So it like sparked memory in my head. What was the main thing that triggered you to want to help people discover their voice as a public speaker?
Okay, so I know this might sound like a cliche, but I would say it's a core. Yeah, what I do is not just, yes, it's a divine core. What I do is not just to make money or to earn a living. As a matter of fact, I have had several other businesses. I have done drop shipping. I have done buying and selling.
Yeah.
I have done importation. I have even done work with farmers from Jos to get tomatoes from Jos to Mile 12. I've done all of those things because, oh, you hear there's money here and you want to go into it before you know it. But all of these businesses failed. I have sold hairs, right? All of these businesses failed. And one day I had to call myself to order. And then I asked myself, is this what God gave you a second chance? That's life for. Like, I know what I'm leaving is like my second chance or third chance because I've had several different experiences where I died in my dream, and then let's not go too far. Bye. So I know this is like me trying to correct whatever it is I have done in the past, and I know I am called to make impacts in life. So it's just me following my call or answering to that call. So by the special grace of God, this call has helped me impact over 6,000 individuals across 11 countries, politicians, CEO, children, and name them. So this is how I know I'm doing the right thing.
The thing is that you're always very sure when you are on the right track, right? because provisions come for many of these things, like the wisdom to navigate the paths that come when you say yes to the vision and you see that it has influenced people positively. I've been influenced positively so much by the work yourself and Mr. Maxwell do at Unique Accent. So the thing is, I started falling in love with effective communication after producing those courses.
Oh, really? Yes. I am going to write you an invoice. I am serious.
Okay, so we started learning how to like effectively communicate, and you actually want to know how much those things has helped us solve different problems. At the time, I was working with a community with over 35,000 people,
Wow.
and it helped navigate the process to becoming a community call coordinator worldwide. So there's a lot of things that has come out from that whole you saying yes, finding your voice, and helping other people. And we appreciate that you're even here to like help us navigate.
That's the whole essence of life.
Exactly.
So find what you're good at and see how you can impact people with that thing. Nobody's an island. If you're not impacting, then you're not doing anything.
Was there a point where you felt misunderstood, or your voice was shrinked, for lack of better terms?
Yes. There were how many times? Let me say. The first one, I was in the blogs for the wrong reason. Right. So someone had to dig up some of my children's video, the children we coach.
Wow.
And decided to make mockery of it. And you know what they say, the bad news will always fly faster than the good ones. So the person decided to make mockery of it, selling his or her own perspective in the minds of others. And because it was negative, it was bought. So I saw the videos in different platforms, and some people come into my platform to make a mess of themselves and not me, right? Asking me, why are you doing this? It's a second slavery. Why are you teaching people to speak
British.
what do they call it? Sipri, right? Why are you teaching us to finish this children's future and everything? So, but when you know what you're doing, it broke me actually. It broke me. I had to just stay off social media for a couple of weeks. And you know what they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Definitely.
And then we bounced back. And trust me, those people that were saying all sorts about us started singing or from a different hymn book. Right. So the bad publicity eventually gave us publicity.
Definitely.
And then some celebrities saw us, some people from the UK. That was when we started attracting high-profile clients. Clients from, international clients, UK, Canada, name it. So, and then came the COVID year where everybody was locked. And then what can you do? Just stay in your house and your children are looking at you. You're looking at your children. You're like, what do I do with these children? Oh, Unique Accent Children Hub. And then they register their children. So at that time, we had about 200 children registered. What do we even teach them? Etiquette, poetry, diction, creative writing, book reading, anything art. You understand? So somebody just decided to pick the wrong part of it and then sold the wrong ideas to people and they bought. So the main clients actually understood what we're doing. And I would say they referred us to some other people. And before you know that, from referral to referral, more people started buying into our program for children. And that is it. So we evolved after that to teaching adults. We were already teaching adults, but it wasn't the main thing, right? Until we decided to outgrow the stage of teaching just children. So we moved on to teaching corporate organizations, and then we rebranded and as not just a diction and public speaking organization, but an organization that teaches effective communication and professional development. So God's so kind, we have been able to train quite a number of companies, most especially real estate companies, and we have some dignitaries in Nigeria, governors, honorables that we have trained so far. So we'll keep flying, right?
Yes, definitely. And the truth is that there are just not Yeah, there's just not so many things that put people in trouble. Mr. Joseph Etim, he said something to me sometime on the pod. He said people get into trouble because they did not understand what someone wrote, and they did not read well what someone said to them. They did not read meaning into it. So they don't know how to communicate effectively.
Exactly.
That's why there's a lot of problems from here and there. So he always say, somebody wrote what somebody did not understand, and the person signed it.
That's the reality. I'm telling you,
It's very funny right now, but
Yes.
in actuality, it's a big problem. People don't know that they don't know how to communicate. Etiquette,
that's the biggest problem.
It's one of
When you don't know you have a problem, is a bigger problem.
big problem, and a lot of Nigerians, and it's going to lead me to the next question. I had to say, what do you think is the major problem of communication amongst Nigerians right now?
Poor listening skills.
I'm not being
You can't talk about communication without talking about listening. You know, the sad thing about some people, especially in this part of the world, is that they listen to react. They don't listen to digest or to understand. They listen to react. And they listen based on their perception about who is communicating to them. So, oh, who's this person? Oh, what you already know about that person is already registering in your mind when the person is talking, right? Or your ideas, your whatever. It's just clouding your sense of understanding. You understand. So that is the problem. Listening. That is why when people take IELTS tests, the listening part is usually the most difficult part. So that's basically it. And then another problem we have with communication is the fact that people don't get to use their supporters. I call your hand gestures, your intonation, your facial expressions, your body language, your tone, your voice modulation. All of these are your supporters. You don't just talk, you speak. And what do I mean by you don't just talk? You don't just say the words. You show the words. You make those words come alive. Like I always say when I teach public speaking, when you want to pitch, let's assume I want to pitch what I do to one top executive. Some persons might want to say, I am Catherine Onyejiaka. I am a communication and professional development coach. I have coached over 6,000 people, individuals, career professionals across 11 countries, right?
Yes.
That's just basic. You just use the words. But what if I came to you to say, I'm Catherine Onyejiaka. I am a communication and professional development coach. I have coached over 6,000 individuals across 11 countries, talking about career professionals, government agencies, just every manner of individual you can think of. So the enthusiasm I spoke with, the passion, my voice modulation, it wasn't really about my audibility.
Yes.
Right? You could be low, or let's just say at least audible enough, but not too loud. Talk about the likes of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's not a loud speaker, like shouts, you aspire to aspire. She's not like that, right? But she speaks in a subtle manner. Every word makes sense.
That's right.
Every word comes alive. She brings words to life. That is one thing about communication. These words are there for us to use them. They're at our mercy. We use them as we please. But some people just haven't mastered the art of using words effectively. And that is one of the problems we have with effective communication.
What do you think is the best way to go about solving this problem that you just mentioned in terms of effectively communicating with people? What's the best way? How can I communicate effectively?
The first step to solving a problem is knowing that there is a problem, right? So when you know that there's a problem, the next step is for you to make efforts to solve that problem. So how do you do it? You know that you're not good with communication, and the best thing or the next thing you want to do is go for a training program, professional development. It can never be overemphasized. So that's basically it. Just train yourself, take advantage of small groups. Yeah, when you're in your clubs, your social gathering, you want to speak, not just because you want to help yourself, right? It is now a thing of intentionality. There's a meeting to be held, let's say tomorrow, and you must have seen the agenda. And you tell yourself, okay, I might not have anything to say here, but I want to be intentional. Let me pick a particular item in the agenda and talk about it. So even if someone says it before me, I can always rephrase it and use my own words. All right. You don't always have to concur to what people say. Oh, I concur. And that's the only thing you get to say. You have your own words, you have your own voice. So use it.
It's a lot of things that you just unpacked here.
Yeah.
Circling back in terms of our history, back in 2021, you spoke about helping adults overcome stage fright using cognitive psychology. So
Everything about stage fright and public speaking have to do with psychology.
yes,
It's psychological.
yes, please. I think you want to share a little bit of more details and context around the whole idea behind the communication effectively with using cognitive psychology.
Okay. So, talking about stage fright, the psychology aspect of it, it is a thing of the mind, right? So, because it is a thing of the mind, you tackle it from the mind.
Mm.
Yes. What causes fear? Sometimes it is fear of the unknown. You have your materials, you have everything, you've done your research, but that fear, that nervousness is just there. So, it is a thing of the mind. So, when your mind tells you can't do it, you challenge the mind and tell the mind, you can do it. That's it. You have your power of visualization. Use it. There was a time I was nervous. Yes. Public speakers get nervous sometimes. Yes. It happens to the best of us.
That's right.
You understand? So there was a time before it was an international, it's TEDx actually. So I had those nerves all over me. But I told myself, the convener, right, deemed me important, right? Chose me to deliver the speech, to give this talk. What did this person see in me? I need to start seeing that thing in myself. So if I did not have it, she wouldn't have called me. So I need to start seeing that thing and leverage it and then go to that stage and do justice. And trust me, my speech was the first to get approved. Not everybody gives TED Talk, like everybody can just go and get, but not all of them get approved.
Mm.
So mine was the first to get approved because I leveraged the power of visualization. I leveraged the power of positive thoughts. Like, I can do this. I always know that whatever it is I put my mind to, once I put my mind to it, I'll definitely do it.
And it's the same with everyone, right?
Not everyone. Not everyone. Some people have what we call initial excitement about some things? We call it motivation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it motivation. You go for a conference and then you hear the grass is greener on the other side, you aspire to perspire and all of those cliche, right? And then you're motivated, speak to me. You see everybody getting their phones, taking pictures of slides. Oh, you screen grab everything. And after the event, what happens?
They go back to this, yeah.
If you don't have discipline, everything dies. And then you're waiting for the next conference to lift you up. No, you understand? So there was a time I told myself, I'll use a particular year to attend conference. All the conferences I can attend, as many as possible.
Yeah.
I'll attend these conferences. And the next year I would use to implement. So that the next year would not be a conference attending year. I wouldn't attend any conference the next year. I'll just use it to implement everything I had learned from the year before. And it's helped me that way. It's really helped me. So what do? I go to my notepad, I go to my phone where I got the slides and everything. I start implementing. Because trust me, everything we learn from these conferences, they can be packaged, all those things can be packaged as a course. And then you pay 100,000 to buy it. But because sometimes we attend these conferences for free, we don't take it as something important. You understand? So I want to attach importance to it. I'll say, look, if nothing at all, I used my fuel. I bought at least 50,000 naira fuel to drive to that venue.
Yes.
So even if it is a free conference or free training,
Still paid for it.
I still paid for it. So that discipline is what many people lack. You understand? You can be motivated. You can tell yourself, I put my mind to everything I would do, but after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, everything just falls flat and you're back to square one.
So in terms of like communication, based off of what you said, there are like a few things I want to point out there. First off is the year that you dedicated to attending conferences,
Okay.
learning. Did you at any point in that same year execute those things you were learning?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I did as much as I could. But you know what they say about the human attention span? We are multitasking beings, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you want to execute, but you just don't have that time. You put your mind to do this thing, and before you know, something else is fighting for your attention. You understand? So sometimes we execute, we start, but we don't get to complete. So this hits me even harder the year I recorded that course. Yeah, the course we're talking about. Was it the year or the one before? So I had the plan of recording a course before the end of that year.
Wow.
And it was already November, December. I hadn't started. And then I told myself, look, I have to do this. And that was how we used. Remember when we told you we have to do this in 1 week? You were like,
oh, it was that
we will do it. We'll spend day and night to do. So I actually did it because I put my mind to it. And yeah, although it was fire brigade approach, but did I still do it?
Yes.
Yes, I did it.
So it's a difficult thing that we are facing in Nigeria right now, given that a lot of people are used to learning. They attend a lot of conferences, but they don't act on those things. So if your learning does not lead to action, it leads to the other way around, which is foolishness, and you cannot be wealth. Sorry, for lack of better terms, those are not my words, they are Jerome's words. So he said, if your learning is not leading to action, it is leading to foolishness, you cannot be wealthy. So it's that simple. But then taking those actions, that's what even allowed us to stay connected even until now.
Yeah.
Because if you had not started the whole process of executing the thoughts you had in mind then to record those courses, which today you just let me know that you've sold over 800 of course. I'm like, wow. So just saying yes to one vision. But I want to circle back to the love and discipline for public speaking, the love versus the discipline. So there is, you mentioned how if you don't have discipline, you cannot act on those things you learned at the time. Are those conferences start here? But sometimes the love to even want to speak leads you to this place. So I'm just like trying to bring my mind around the context of having love versus the discipline. Sometimes discipline is not entirely enough. So if I don't like speaking, some people, like my younger brother, he doesn't like communicating with people. So he's just on his own. There's nothing like love or discipline. He doesn't want to learn effective communication. But he's beginning to because he loves money. And for him to make money, he has to speak to people. So I just wanted to get your context around the love for public speaking versus the discipline to speak publicly.
Okay. When you say public speaking, the love for public speaking is optional. I think for some people, I think that's what you're trying to say. It's just like saying the air we breathe is optional. So you don't want to live. You don't want to. If you don't want to communicate with people, how would you live? How would you even run your business? How would you work in an organization, right? You get someone applies to your company, and the first thing you want to check is to know if the person has good communication skills, right? Even the codes we used for our websites to software development and all of that, those are communication codes.
Yeah.
Right? It tells you, okay, if this is this, do this. It's a command. So everything still revolves around communication. You cannot say you don't like to talk to people. I'm an introvert. I don't like people. You need to start liking people.
Yes.
Not because you want to like them per se, but because your life or so many things are dependent on you communicating with people. How would you make money? How would you make wealth? How would you share your knowledge? How would other people understand your concepts, your ideas? You understand? So you just need to communicate with people one way or the other. You don't need to like it. It is a necessity. Maybe when you start seeing it as a necessity, the love will develop along the line. Yeah.
How do you deal with someone who doesn't like verbal communication?
If you don't like verbal communication, it's not a crime, right? It's not bad. Like I would say, being an introvert is not bad, but it is not everywhere you should hide in that shell of I am an introvert. When you're in a place where you have to speak, you speak. When you don't speak, then it is a disservice. It's just, I don't know how to put it, but it's a disservice. You're not serving well. Like you're supposed to say something. Let's assume you're knowledgeable about drug abuse, right? You've talked one or two people out of drug abuse before, and then you see people who are victims of drug abuse, and you say, because it is, I don't feel like talking. No, you don't need to feel like. It is something that you need to build enthusiasm about. You don't just do it because you feel like it. You do it because it is a necessity. You want to serve. Not everybody wants to serve, I know, but you're living with people. Sometimes it has to do with your own emotional intelligence as well. And you asking yourself, what are you here for? What are you in this life for? What are you doing? What have you achieved? What impact have you made in people? So when you see someone who needs your help, and you don't help the person because you feel you're not a verbal person, then it is a disservice to yourself and to the person as well as to your society. That's it.
Are there like steps that this person now can start using to come out of their shell?
Of course, yes. It's called a mindset shift. That was what helped me. Okay, let me give you a little background story about myself. During my adolescent years, although this is on TEDx, my TEDx talk, during my adolescent years, I used to be an introvert. That's why I can speak from a place of an introvert, right? I used to be an introvert. I used to be timid, reserved. Do I even say reserved? Reserved is even a push word. I used to be, that last girl, that insignificant girl amongst her group of friends. My friends would talk down at me because I was like their errand girl. Do you understand when you have a circle of friends as you're just that insignificant one, the one who will never contribute to anything? You understand? I used to be that girl until I took up the teaching job. It's really helped me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was really strange to know that I could speak and then what I say is impactful to people. Like people act on what I say. It was really strange to me. So when I gave assembly presentations, sometimes I would receive applause. It was strange. Like, no, it's not me talking and I'm receiving applause. No. And then some of the teachers will come to say, oh, Catherine, you did well. Sense of validation. Oh, I did well. Oh, is that true? It continued like that. You understand? So sometimes this little encouragement here and there, they help people find that thing that is lost inside of them that they don't know. Sometimes what you say can help people activate their relevance to life. That is just it. So those teachers there, I remember, this was when I was in secondary school. I remember Mrs. Adeswa, Mr. Clemens, right? They really helped me. My English language skills, it didn't start here. I'm not an expert, sir. Disclaimer. Nobody is an expert when it comes to English. I realized that I could do better. I could speak and people would understand, and people would not just understand but act on what I said. So what did I do next? I started developing myself. I took some training programs, and before you know it, here we are today. Like they say, the rest is history.
I mean, in the process of developing yourself, there are like a couple steps that you took that has helped you navigate your way to this point right now.
All right.
Do you mind mentioning most of those steps, like simple steps that someone can act on right now?
Okay, so it will not be Catherine speaking if I don't go spiritual.
Yes, please.
Right. So the first step was God.
In the beginning.
Right. Yes. In the beginning was the word and the work was God. The first step was God. I asked God for direction and I listened. You know what we talk about listening? No, be free. And sometimes when you pray, we just talk. We're the only ones doing the talking.
Talking to God.
You're talking to God. You don't communicate with Him. And when you pray, it's supposed to be a communication with your Creator, right? But we end up doing the talking. So when I pray, I talk to Him and I listen. Sometimes His voice might not come immediately.
Yes.
You might just be doing something and you hear it. It drops in your mind that, this is the voice of God. It cannot be the voice of the devil. You understand? And then you act on it. So when you tell the Holy Spirit to direct your paths, the Holy Spirit is just there. He wants us to activate Him. Yes. You understand? So when you tell Him to direct your path, everything just aligns. Let me give you an example. I was just going to come here today for the podcast. But I'm good with my makeup and everything. I could have done my makeup myself. But I said to myself, this podcast is afternoon, evening, So I have a passport photograph to take. And then I needed to do, what's it called now? Some photo shoots and everything. So the Holy Spirit just dropped it in my mind. Like, you've been planning to do all of this. Why not use the opportunity and then use the makeup for the podcast? I did not, my plan today was just to come here, not even to go to the gym because I'm a fitness enthusiast.
Yeah.
Just to come here, do the podcast and leave. But before I slept, the Holy Spirit ministered to me. Okay, there's a passport photograph you need to submit. Like, it was a specific type. I had so many of them, but they needed a specific type. And then you need to do some photo shoots for some flyers. So I said, okay. So I'll do my makeup and I'll do my photo shoots. So the makeup served for the passports, for the photo shoot, and for this podcast. That's the Holy Spirit aligning your day, you're directing you. You understand? So many things have happened just like that. And you know that, come on, this has to be God.
Definitely.
So it is God. Don't complete your questions. Listening is very important. I got your question. The first was God. The second, discipline.
Yes, please.
Right? Discipline. I disciplined myself. My friend told me the other day, Catherine, this thing I like about you. When you want to work, you work. And when you want to rest, you rest. And that is me. I can sit in my living room on a Monday morning and I'm watching Netflix. Yes, I can do it.
Yes, you can.
I can do it on a Monday morning. Or take a walk at the beach. I can do it. But when it's time to work, I work relentlessly. You understand? So that is discipline. That is discipline. And then your mentors, you just need to have mentors. Look, there's some people you should look up to, right? There are people who have been there before you. Don't be too proud to say you want to learn from someone. And you know what they say about having mentors? Don't be the type that would want to suck them dry without giving anything to return. So that is it. So I have my mentors, I have God, and I have discipline, and I have the skills. Right? Personal development. All of those things put together, you should be good to go.
I like how you circled everything back to God first, because it would be a big disservice telling someone that you can start the process of personal development without God in the picture. Some have done it, some have what they believe me. But then there are universal laws that govern this whole thing.
Absolutely. Right? The universe will always.
By default, it's there. It's a system in place already. So if you don't pay, if you don't acknowledge the systems, it will work against you. The person is realizing that you're not able to figure these things out. You're not able to get your voice back without God. And then there's obviously discipline. There's a role that discipline plays, which you mentioned. But then I saw that I remember you talking about your book, Speak Your Way Out to Success. At the time you did the book launch and all that. So what inspired you to write Speak Your Way Out to Success?
Wow.
But what the name correct?
When I was interviewed during the book launch, the red carpet host asked the question, what inspired me? And I corrected her, says, who inspired me?
Who inspired you?
So correcting you now again, the question should be, who inspired me? And this is not me trying to go all churchy, but it was the Holy Spirit. Yeah, I was in my bed one day and I just heard write a book. I just heard it. 3 words, write a book. I was like, what? Write a book? How? It wasn't in my plan for that year to write a book.
Mm.
And I said, on what? I heard everything you talked about in your TEDx talk. That was what I spoke on in that TEDx event was something that should be re-emphasized over and over and should not just stay there on YouTube, sitting pretty to wait for the next person to view it, right? So I got the message that I should write a book on woman speak your way to the top. That was my TEDx topic. Woman speak your way to the top. But it said this time you're not talking to women alone. You're talking to both gender, right? So I started. It was just around this period 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks before, was it 10 days before Pentecost. So the next 2 days, I just sent to my family platform, look, I got this inspiration and I'm starting. I didn't know how to start, but I'll just start anyway. So I started. It was like 9 days to Pentecost, right? That's when the Catholics go. We have the Pentecost novena 9 days before Pentecost. So on the first day, I wrote chapter 1, second day, chapter 2, third day, chapter 3, and then the ninth day, chapter 9. It just has 9 chapters. And when I was done, I said, God, I've submitted your assignments. You know, one thing about this, when these ideas come, they don't come fully formed.
Yes.
Right? Even the book we have now, I wish I came with a copy of it. The book we have now is not what was originally written. It has been edited. You understand? The same thing as the Bible. It's been edited, just to make it more understandable. So the way I wrote it, as the inspiration was coming, you're just typing, and it's not fully formed. Sometimes your grammar is not even correct, but you just do it anyway. You understand? Because it was experience-based. That book is an experience-based book. Now, let's even talk about the book. So I've answered the question, who inspired? It was the Holy Spirit. So why? For who? The book was written to help people find their voices, to help people harness, first discover, harness, materialize, and, just discover their voices and put it to good use. Now, when we talk about your voice, in that book, you understand that the voice is not just what you say vocally.
Okay.
Yes. Your voice is your gift, G.I.F.T. It's an acronym, which means your gifts, G for gifts, I for ideas, P for passion, and T for talent. So the book will help you activate your gifts, your ideas, your passion, and your talent. So for those people who were like me during my growing years that thought they did not have a voice, there are many people like that, trust me. Because this is not your field, you might not know. I have had clients that come to me crying. Yes.
Right.
Because they cannot talk. They have the ideas. They have the everything, but they cannot, materialize it or harness it. They just need that push. They need a guidance. They are the ones stopping themselves. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. So what wrong with the client?
Yes. There's this client I had. She schooled in Ukraine, right? She was just a one-to-one client. I would teach her and everything. Her routine was just go to school, learn, and come back, right? Go to school, learn, and come back. And then one morning, I got a voice note. Someone was crying. I said, why? And then in the voice note, she said, Ms. Catherine, you don't know what you've done for me. I said, what have I done? Said, I have helped her discover herself. That today she now makes presentations. This is somebody who thought herself to be an introvert. Now making presentations, impacting. Do you know the fulfillment that comes with impacting other people? That is what I was saying now.
Yeah.
What you're doing now, you're impacting people. Imagine someone coming back to you to say, oh, that podcast changed my life. How would you feel?
Man, excellent.
Yeah, cool, right? So that is it. That is it. I've had top executives of banks, government officials come to me to say, Catherine, they don't just give this feedback, right? They go ahead to even refer our organization, say, I cannot enjoy this alone. They go back. So this is what we're talking about. The book would help you. There's one client, I wouldn't want to mention her name, right? She would always tell me, look, it was the book that helped her. She had the confidence to sell an idea to her executive director. And that idea earned her a promotion. Before, she would not dare even talk to, like, be in close proximity with the person. But after reading the book, okay, I'm not trying to sell my book here now.
Yeah, but I mean, this is part of what where people are looking for materials that can help people communicate effectively.
So after reading the book and after taking our class, of course, she had that courage, that confidence to approach the executive director, sold an idea, and the idea earned her a promotion. Promotion she had been longing for. You understand? So this is what we're talking about. The book would help you discover your voice. What is your voice? The idea I just talked about. Your passion, your talent. Some people have this gifts, this talents, but they don't know what to do with it. Just like what the Bible said, the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
You understand? They don't know what to do with it. And and I always believe that God's gift to us is our talent. And our gift back to God is what we do with our talent.
Ah.
So when God gives you a talent, what you do with it? Do you just sit on it? Do you know the worst part? Many people have died without harnessing their talent, their ideas. Imagine the Wright brothers, the inventors of the aeroplane. Imagine they never pitched that idea, because, yeah, at some point they must have pitched that idea of a metal flying in the air. Would that have been believable, say, 100 years ago? No. Like, I don't know whether it's 100 years ago. Okay, we had the war in 1946. Or, so, yeah, let's say 200 years ago. Wow. Well, you have believed, oh, okay, you were not that.
Obviously.
When someone comes to tell you a metal, not just a tiny metal,
A big one.
big, gigantic metal,
It doesn't make sense even till now.
Made sense. Right, but that was an idea that was harnessed. And today, you and I fly in airplanes. So imagine they never got to harness those ideas because they were shy, reserved. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Let's kill it. It's dead on arrival. Today, we'll still be depending on the ship.
And horses.
And horses. You understand? So that is how powerful an idea could be. And that's what the book is all about.
I didn't know before now that ideas are called voices.
Yeah.
I never knew that was the case, and that talents are classified as voices. Same thing with ideas. So I like the fact that you could provide us with this word, gift.
Yeah.
Gift.
Yeah. Gift,
And
idea, passion, and talent.
now, you mentioned something earlier that I've been reminiscing on, and it's something that she said around she inflicting introversy on herself. And it got me thinking, the client you had that was crying that you don't know what you've done for her at the time.
Okay.
That means people inflict introversy on themselves.
Yeah.
When they are not natural introverts.
I don't think anybody is a natural introvert.
Oh.
I don't think so. Do you know why?
Mm-mm.
If you know the next person that tells you he or she's an introvert, look for something that they have passion about and see how they express it. Maybe you're my friend, we guys, right? And you call yourself an introvert, and then we're watching a football match, maybe one that made the news, and then you see how this person stands up to say, oh, this person, Ronaldo should have played like that. They're already giving a public speech. At that point, you're already addressing an audience because it is something you have passion about. So passion would always activate the words, those ideas. So it's not just a thing of I'm an introvert. You can be an introvert. Like, we all have these tendencies of being ambiverts, right? The mixture of extrovert and introvert nature. You understand? So sometimes you just want to be reserved. But I don't believe that there's anybody who wants to be reserved at all times of their lives. No, they just need the passion. They just need to find enthusiasm in something that would spark them into action.
I have a very funny question. Like,
Okay.
have you tried helping someone who does not want help?
Who does not want help?
Especially in public speaking.
That's so difficult. But why would they come to me in the first place if they don't want help?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe they didn't come to me. Maybe I just discovered them, right?
Or they were like presented to you. I mean,
Yeah.
I need this person to start learning.
Yeah, it could be very difficult. It could be tormenting.
But you've not had cases like
I've
that.
had cases like that. It's torture. Do you know why? There's nothing as torturing as trying to help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. That's why I hardly do this mentee. Somebody comes to me to say, oh, I want you to be my mentor. I hardly do it. If you come to me to be, you'll pay a lot because you will need something to continue to boost that drive. So when you remember that you're paying in 7 figures just for mentorship, or say 6 figures just for mentorship, you would want to take it seriously. The same money is motivation. So definitely motivate you. You understand? But when it comes on a platter, right? Oh, I want to help you. And the person is just not helpable. Please don't drain yourself. Just leave the person. They will come around, right? They will come around because the more you try to help them and they don't want to be helped, the more it's affecting your mental state. And before you know it, you begin to think that it is you. It is you. Maybe you don't have the ability or what it takes to help them. But it's not you. It's them.
But then what's like in cases where, I mean, you've coached people who are successful before now, and you still do, what's like the hardest part of trying to coach someone who is a successful person that has money?
The most what?
The hardest part of
coaching a successful person has to do with the most treasurable thing in the world, which is time. They don't have it. That's my problem with coaching successful people. Some of them I know, like almost all of them I know, they want it, right? I've not really had issues with pride or anybody who comes to me. I've not really had issues with, oh, I know it or giving me that vibes of pride. No. But the issue is usually time. They don't have the time to learn because they are busy being successful with other things. You understand? So that is the most difficult part. But when it comes to being receptive to learning, they are. For the time it lasts, right? They are receptive. They want to learn. But the continuity is really not there. Sometimes you are supposed to train them for 1 month and you end up doing 1 week. Sometimes you're supposed to do 2 months and you end up doing. I've trained many celebrities like that. You know, I'm in Abuja. Oh, I'm in Port Harcourt. I'm in Ghana. I'm in Accra. No, that's it. But some who really want it would go through thick and thin to ensure completion of the course. So that's it.
How are you like able to help people unlearn some poor etiquettes that they've had, especially young people who, you know, someone said this to me that it's difficult to change someone, you know, help people change from an attitude that they picked up from their community, their first agents of socialization, their parents, over 40 years ago. Like telling them it's wrong to do this and this and this. It's not acceptable. How like do you help people learn most of this bad communication habits that we have?
Okay, you put them in an environment that would help them unlearn, right? You want someone to unlearn something and the person is still in that or within that environment that enabled what you want them to unlearn. It is almost impossible. You understand? So, but for some who have this sense of, discipline, to not let their environment negatively impact them. Yeah, there are just a few. There are just a few of them. But if you really want someone to unlearn something, you put them in an environment just like you travel to the UK in winter, during the winter, right? The first few weeks, you're always freezing. You're freezing, and before you know it, after 2 months, you're already adapting. So that is it. So you just put them in an enabling environment, and that is it.
I have a question here that I wanted, maybe if I should ask it up. But when you were coaching like some C-suite executives, right? And you know how these people are successful people.
Okay.
You have your system that you use to train them. Most of them attain that height of success even with their poor communication skills. That they have shitload of money, for lack of better terms. They have too much money that even if they choose to not communicate effectively, they will see food to eat. Which in most cases, I know that there is a balance, trying to do communication for making ends meet from effective communication and already having these things, right? How do you carry this type of people along, especially for other young aspiring diction coaches that are listening to you right now?
It depends on what you mean by successful.
Interesting.
What is success to you? Having money?
I mean, most of them. Okay, I'm going to say this how the average Nigerian sees success. Being able to afford anything they want, being able to enter anywhere they want, being able to say anything they want, and knowing that nobody is coming for them.
Yeah, that's just a part of success.
I mean, that's how most of them see it.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
So, I mean, that's like the average definition of success for most, I don't want to say Africans. It sounds very bad, but it's just what it is. But that way, most of those people, they don't go for personal development.
There will definitely be limitations. There will definitely be limitations. You want to go for a conference because your success, what you call success, your money, right? Your property, your wealth, it will take you places. You'll be recognized. And then you would want to go to places, conferences, board meetings. And then you have to communicate. And then you're going back to what you ought to have learned. You see, you can't do without it. You're successful, yeah. I don't know if you know this guy, School of, is a knockout to some
School of Not.
Not something. He interviews
a lot of
successful people. Yeah. There's one man he interviewed some time ago, and the man said the key to his wealth was effective communication.
Yeah.
Is communicating. It was like, is there one advice you can give? Say, communication. Learn how to communicate, and you're good. So that's it. You can't take out communication from success. It is a part of the success. And when we say communication, I'm not saying speaking with a foreign accent, right? I believe everybody has their unique accent. Of course, that's the name of my organizations. I believe everybody has their unique accent. The way you speak is different from the way I speak.
Yeah.
And the way I speak is different from the way the other person speaks. But what is most important? You're clear. I believe everybody can hear me. You're clear. Your pronunciations are correct. Your intonation correct. Your stress placements, like some people would want to say E-S-T-A-T-E, right? How would you normally pronounce it? Let's school you now.
Estate.
Okay, so it's not estate. It's estate.
Okay.
So when you go for international conference and then you say estate and your audience cannot understand you, you're like, why can't they understand me? Your money cannot buy you that. Your money cannot buy you that. Communication will. Your money cannot buy the understanding of your wrong pronunciation, right? Or your wrong communication or your lack of communication skills. Your money cannot buy it. So if you want to use that money judiciously, invest it in your personal development, not just the money you have sitting in your bank. That's not just what success is all about.
There's a lot of things around about effective communication, but I was like, I'm going to ask for someone who is looking to start their effective communication journey amongst elocution, pronunciation. I hope I'm getting this. Pronunciation or pronunciation?
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best. Not my best. I'm trying. I'll get good at this.
Sure.
Amongst elocution, pronunciation, use of words, which of them are like, would you say is the first one that you want to get started with, and then move to the next one and the next one and the next one? Like in cadence, how should it be? Which one should come first?
Okay. So you said pronunciation?
Yeah.
Use of words, vocabulary?
Vocabulary. Yeah.
And which other one?
Elocution.
Elocution. So there's nothing you're doing with the... oh, did I just correct? Sorry, 20% sure.
I mean, I was expecting this to be
Elocution. It's cution.
elocution.
Okay. Yeah. So we just did the filter. No hard feelings, right?
Yeah.
So elocution, pronunciation, vocabulary. So there's nothing you're doing with the English language if you don't get the basics right. The basic is grammar. Yeah.
So grammar is even different from all of this?
Yes, it is. Elocution is just how you pronounce, how you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about your words, how you speak, how you carry your poise, and all of those things. This we call it like finishing, right? So that's elocution. That's eloquence. Sorry, that's the word.
So
Eloquence.
not
So elocution is derived from the word eloquence, which is channeled to the speech part of eloquence. You understand? So that is it. There's nothing you're doing. You cannot be telling me estate, and then you say, she's going to. How do I even make this sound ungrammatical? Right? So you're sacrificing grammar on the altar of elocution or diction. That cannot work.
Hmm.
You can mispronounce words and your grammar structure is accurate and you go scot-free. But when you...
Can you give us one wrong grammar?
Okay.
So guys, I asked for this. He didn't say it. I asked for it.
Okay, I want to give an example that
Yes, please.
not many people know is wrong. Let's use Concord, right? Concord, right? It rings a bell. Secondary school. Yeah. So you say, the boys or the boy go home by train. The boy go home by train.
That's not correct.
Okay, correct it. So it's the boy goes home.
Oh, goes.
Right? That's Concord. Boy, singular. Go is plural. So for Concord, singular should match with singular, plural should, and when it comes to verbs, singular takes the S. Plural doesn't take the S. So another one is the man as well as his wife is coming, not are coming. The man as well as his wife is coming. Do you know why it is coming and not? Because the as well as his wife is just like supplementary. It's just like giving more information, right? The main focus is the man. So you go, the man. That as well as his wife, we could do away with it, right? So the man as well as his wife is coming, not are coming. I'll leave it here.
So how can we solve the widespread of like wrong grammar? We have grammatical error like literally everywhere.
It's almost everywhere.
And it looks like our society is okay with it.
It's okay with it until it hits you hard.
How can we solve this? I think there is a solution to most of these things.
Yeah, the solution is everywhere, but we're just not seeing them. Professional development. Know that you need to grow. You need to upgrade. You need to improve. And then, like I told you, that was what I realized when I got people applauding me for just something I did without less intention. You understand? And then I decided to develop myself. So that is what I'm telling anybody out here today. Go for professional development training, talking about elocution, public speaking, leadership development, all those soft skills. You would definitely need them. You will definitely need them.
Do you think those are like the skills that guarantee success?
To an extent, of course, it's not limited, right? To an extent, but communication skills, you need it everywhere. In all aspects of life, you cannot overemphasize the importance of communication skills.
How can we know who we would practically call an effective communicator?
When the person can speak, and then you don't only understand, you are called to action, right? The person puts you to action, and then you like to hear this person talk. Not because you like the person, but because this person's speech inspires you, impacts you. That is how you know that this person is communicating effectively. It's relative though, relative, but it still is what it is.
Do you think like your international exposure, like being on the Forbes, PLK,
BLK.
being part of that community, the Forbes, BLK, BBC Africa Business Day, all of those news channels like carrying your work, do you think that that level of international exposure did something inside you as a coach that has in turn helped you help other people? Did I get it right?
Yeah, helped me help other people. So I think the reverse is the case. It was what I did, how I developed myself from my smaller platforms, my smaller training courses, training programs that even gave me that international exposure. You understand? So I would not want to root it from the international exposure. It started from me developing myself from my own locality, from my own country. So they saw it, they liked it, and they recognized it. And yes, has it given me more visibility? Yes, it has given me more visibility, and more visibility means more impact. So invariably, it has made me impact more people.
I want to believe that um, there are lots of mindset barriers that you've had to dismantle in people in the process of like trying to help them become effective communicators. Maybe you want to like share most of those things with us, because we might have those mindset barriers and not know that we have them, and that is affecting how we become effective communicators. We have a decline of understanding amongst different people, even in relationships. Effective communication has tanked the level. I feel like I'm not an effective communicator because why don't I have a woman? Yeah, because I feel like I don't have anything to tell.
Okay.
And some people are waiting. A lot of people are desperately waiting for me to talk about this.
Okay.
But then we're running low on time, so I wouldn't like deep dive into all of this.
Maybe a part 2.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, how effective communication has damaged a lot of Nigerian youths, their relationships.
Okay, let me give an example, because I like giving instances so we can relate with these instances. Have you seen Straw?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. What helped Jemima speak? She didn't want to speak to anybody initially.
The lady engaged her.
Yeah.
The lady police.
So when the FBI came around, were they able to do anything?
Not
Why?
totally, because I mean they lack the communication skill that.
That's it. You just answered the question.
Hmm.
That is it. You need to learn what we call emotional intelligence for you to even communicate effectively. So this time, you're not only intelligent about the words they speak, you're intelligent about their emotions. Not just theirs, even yours. So emotional intelligence is not just how you understand other people's emotions, but how you understand your own emotion. You know when to talk and when not to talk. You know that when you're furious, when you're upset, you talk and, you just blow everything up. So what do you do at that time? Okay. Can we talk about this maybe in 2 hours or maybe some other time? Because you know that at that point, you are upset. And once you say anything, you say based on your own emotions, and it can blow everything up. You understand? So that was it. That was what happened with Jemima and the FBI guy. He was already upset, but he wasn't aware of his own emotions, right? He was just like, oh, you've been keeping, how would you be like pampering a criminal? Just get the, until they realized that it wasn't okay, so let's let you talk about. People still need to go watch the Tyler Perry is my guy, so I don't want to spoil it for him. Oh yeah. So that is it. Emotional intelligence will help you understand your emotions and other people's emotions, and then you better communicate with them.
I just like how you were able to relate all of this with a movie that a lot of us have seen and a lot of us need to see. That's like a real definition of effective communication, because I think it's the paramount thing that is missing, especially in even friendships. There are like a low amount of friendships now. It's just like someone is looking for something from you, and this topic is very vast, and I would even prefer to do a roundtable, to discuss how can we solve this, especially in our society. There's a huge decline, and most of us don't even know that it's going down so much. The communication level is going down. This party is blaming this party, and this party is blaming this party. So thank you so much for even bringing that to our knowledge. What's like 3 things you can tell anyone starting their effective communication journey? I know you've already touched base on most of those things, but just to jog our memory.
Okay, so first and foremost, put God first. Yeah, they say seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing will be added unto you.
Yeah.
So if you want every other thing, you put him first, right? And then develop yourself, right? Develop yourself. Take training programs. Don't feel like you know it all. Nobody knows it all, okay? Be open to learning. And then let it be passionate about it. Money should not be your drive. I know it's like a cliche, right? But money should not be your drive. How are you able to hold the fort even when the money is not coming, right? So even when the money is not coming, you close it and say, oh, it's a done deal. This cannot work. No, you continue. It is your passion, your enthusiasm that will push you. And guess what? You might just bounce back like Job.
That's right.
Right? And then you even get more than. So that is it about, don't just see it as this is a business. No, you see it as, for me, I see it as a call. I don't know what the other person wants to see it as. You understand? So through thick and thin, we are doing this not just to make money, but to make impact in our society. And guess what? When you make impact to your society, the universe has its way of rewarding you. You might think, why should I come? Why should I serve this person? Why should I do anything for anybody? But the universe, in all sincerity, I am reaping the fruits of what I am saying now. Right? The universe has its way. There's something I want to apply for. And guess what? Everything I inserted my name on Google. Tell me all you know about Catherine Onyejiaka. But so the numerous links, ChatGPT knows me.
So much, yeah.
So it's this little seeds I have been sowing, making impact here and there. And now it is coming back to reward me. That wasn't the goal. The reward wasn't the goal. It was the passion, the drive that was the goal. But remember what I said. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Every other thing will be added unto you.
Thank you so much for
You're most welcome.
for sharing all of this. We're extremely grateful, myself and everyone watching this. This is a seed that we're sowing for the future. So we'll look back in time 10 years from now, and we'll be happy that we shared this knowledge. Yes. And a lot of people would pick this up even after now. Why the numbers might not be getting up to 1 million at the time, we know that give or take in the next 10 years. So everyone is they're going to see this, and we're going to do more of this over time. There are lots of topics, and we're focused more on niching down to most of these critical things that are affecting and eating up our society's growth. They have a way of tanking the economy even without us knowing. And over time, it's all going to make sense, like I always say. Just short.
It's already making sense.
It is, yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So if you've been with us up to now, this is when we ask you to do just one thing for us. Please help us. Click the subscription button there. Share this video with someone that is really in need of it, and ensure to save this video because you have to come back to this video,
of course,
to get much wisdom. And then we're committing ourselves to bringing high value guests, high quality guests, high performers that are going to share the secrets that has helped them over time achieve the level of success that they have within this short period of time that we've been in existence here on Earth. And we are grateful that we are all working this journey together and we are making progress. Thank you so much, Dr. Catherine, for joining.